Hey guys, it's Evan the Cat King here with another video. Today we're doing another Total Drama What If. This is what if Dawn had the real immunity idol in Backstabbers Ahoy. So, in Revenge of the Island, this is our second Revenge of the Island What If. I recently found that out when I made playlists for each season of with what ifs for each season, and I realized Revenge of the Island and Redonkulous Race has only one each. We gotta change that. So we're doing a Revenge of the Island what if right now, and then the next what if is going to be a Redonkulous Race one, and then we're gonna go back to just doing the best ones that I can find. Maybe not the best ones. Sometimes I just kind of pick a random one. But anyways, so here this is. But yeah, Backstabbers Ahoy in the original. Dawn gets voted out and plays a fake, and pulls out an immunity idol that was apparently made by Scott, so it's fake. It's not real. So what if she actually had it? So in Backstabbers Ahoy, she gets all the votes except for her own, and then she actually pulls out the real immunity idol, meaning that that she is now immune and the only her vote counts. And that vote is for Scott. And Scott gets sent home here because Dawn has the hidden immunity idol. Okay, so Scott is gone. Runaway model. Now we have Dawn being part of this challenge, and she is going to help her team actually win. Dawn will be able to talk to the Sasquatch and get it to calm down and give up Lindsay, and like that kind of she just comes in and just completely saves the whole challenge for the guys team or whatever. Team Dude, as Lightning calls it. Now I think that Anna Maria ends up going home here, as I don't think anybody on the team really likes her, and she has not been helpful in challenges that much. This episode also yeah. So Anna Maria is gone. This episode also ends with two people swapping teams. And in the original, it was Joe and Scott. So Joe will still do it, and I think instead of Scott, it'll be Lightning, because it was based on Chris asking who is a strong member of their team. And Scott just stood up pretty quickly. I feel like Lightning would probably be cocky enough to step up and do that. So I think Joe and Lightning are going to be the ones to switch teams here, and we move on to a mine is a terrible thing to waste. This is going to be go a similar way as the original, at least in terms of the challenge. It will all end with Brick saving the other team and breaking the trophy in the process and resulting in their loss. However, things won't go the same for the vote, as I believe that given the remaining contestants here, we have Dawn and Sam instead of it being Lightning there, because it would have just been Lightning. It was a 5-on-3 if Scott was here in the original. And instead of it just being Joe and Lightning, we have now Dawn and Sam as well. And I feel like that those two will side with Brick, because I feel they'll realize, yeah, Brick did the right thing. Even though they lost the challenge, he did the right thing. He literally saved 3 people's lives, basically. And I think they'll all team up and get rid of Joe. Joe ends up swapping teams, and it screws her over this time around. The Treasure Island of Dr. McClane. To start off, Dakota will not be returning in this episode, as she only came back because Anna Maria prematurely quit. Yeah, that's not gonna it's not gonna be like double people going out this time, because I mean Anna Maria isn't here to quit, and I don't see anybody else quitting here, so we end up going into this no Dakota Zoid, no any of that. Now, will the maggots be able to come out on top now that Scott is gone? I think so. Lightning will be able to also help them get through the more physical challenges, similar to Dakota Zoid in a way, but he can definitely help them get through this as well, like they did before, and and then Scott kind of screwed them over by like what was it? Did he like screw with like did he like make an X in the ground to make them dig where in a random spot, and it was just like, or like he said that he could hear them below them, but I can't exactly remember exactly how it happened. But Scott screws them over here. Without him here, then I think they will actually be able to find their way and get it. Now, in the elimination, I feel like very much this is a difficult decision because I feel like any of the three could go. I feel like all three of them could very much be eliminated here, but I think that the one that makes the most sense right now is probably Sam. I feel like Sam is like I feel like Don and Brick might like not like him as much, and it's a whole thing, and we can still have the Dakota Zoid and Sam leave together, and now that means we have moved on to the merge. Zoe, get back down here. Uh, Grand Chef Otto. If Scott isn't here, then Zoe is going to win this challenge, and that means she gets to pick who goes home. I don't see Brick or Dawn beating her, by the way. Zoe will likely take out the most physical competitor and meanest competitor left, that being Lightning. And so, up, and away in my pitiful balloon. Jeez, this is boring. We have some of the most nice people. We've gotten rid of Scott going. Apparently, if Dawn were to have the real idol, all of a sudden all the villains get taken out before the final five. So now we are stuck with the final five and a bunch of just nice people. This is not fun. At least we have Heather here to cause a bit to make this episode a bit more interesting. Now, Cameron will likely still come out on top in this challenge and have immunity. Now, who will end up getting eliminated? This will have to be Dawn or Brick, as the other three are likely to stick together. I think that this means that Dawn will be voted off, as Mike, Zoe, and Cam probably connect better with Brick, as well as him being on their team at one point. And also, he kind of saved their lives at one point. So I think Dawn is just she made it quite far. She got to play the idol, and she made it to the final five, but she doesn't go any further. Eat, puke, and be wary. Cameron will win the eating challenge because he won't get sabotaged by Scott. Jeez, I forgot how much Scott screws people over in this season. Maybe I should rethink how I see him as a villain. He does actually have more of an impact. I always just saw his strategy of trying to make his teams lose as stupid, because you're just putting yourself in danger. But now seeing how much him being gone makes things different, actually makes me think, maybe I underestimated how much Scott really did. But yeah, eat, puke, and be wary. In the end though, he probably so Cam wins the eating challenge. I don't think he's going to win in the final challenge. With he won in because he just hopped on Lightning's back. I don't think there's no Lightning for Cameron to ride to victory. And I think that this will lead to Brick managing to get the win, as the others will probably slow each other down, just trying to stick together. Now we get to the vote, and the threesome have to vote each other. Now, I do see Mike and Zoe likely siding with each other and vote for Cameron. But I see Brick joining Cameron, who will likely vote for Zoe, because him and Mike have bonded more. Now, for drama purposes, and this universe definitely needs some drama, Zoe will go home. I'm going to say there's some kind of tiebreaker and Cameron miraculously wins. It could be like a puzzle thing, and he actually wins. And Zoe goes home, and then we get into the next episode, and we have a little rift between Cameron and Mike, because Mike voted for Cameron, and he didn't want to vote for Zoe, but at the same time, he voted for the guy who helped him get with, who literally Cameron has done so much for Mike. He literally Plus, I see a thing where Cameron goes to Mike and says, "I think we should take out Zoe," and then Mike probably says, "Yeah," and then it's just he kind of lied to him in the end. It's just like a whole thing, and honestly, I think that this leads to a big old Mike, being the nice guy that he is, just decides to step away. He lets Cameron, maybe lets Brick win. Lets one of them win, and then tells them to take the other. And he goes home here. And then we go on, and we still get that brains versus bronze thing with Brick and Cameron. And now we got Brick here, and I love Brick, so I am happy he gets to get this far. So that is what if Dawn were to have the real immunity idol. In my opinion, like always, this is my opinion. If you guys disagree, then I don't know. You can let me know in the comments and say what you think should have happened. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have some new total drama ideas coming up where I'm starting to work on the videos. I'm editing them up. Most ambitious videos I've made in terms of editing. I don't really have to edit much for like the what ifs and the who would win books, but this is it actually involve editing, and it's it's I'm working on it. I'll hopefully have it out soon. I don't know. A couple videos that are going to be different, and they are based on total drama. But always leave a like, subscribe. Let's try. I want to reach 2,000 by the end of the year. That would be amazing. I would absolutely